Coming up on Campus Connection.
Johnson & Johnson put a hold on the company's vaccine distribution. We'll tell you the impact it has on supply.
Long Beach residents devastated to see their local store closing soon.
Hello, I'm Felicia Pliego. The Long Beach Convention Center opened its doors to migrant children. I have the story coming up.
All that and more.
Hello and welcome to Campus Connection. I'm Nadia Villanueva.
And I'm Adrian Biondo. As Long Beach State's graduation ceremony is approaching for the classes of 2020 and 2021, changes and updates are being announced. On April 15th, school officials sent out an email stating graduate names will not be announced inside Angel Stadium due to the lack of time. But as graduates emerge onto the playing field, crowds will cheer and welcome the graduating classes. As for the ceremony, the Angels Stadium's policies say that guests will only be allowed to enter the stadium with one clear bag.
Long Beach residents over 16 can now get vaccinated. The Long Beach Convention Center opened up slots for walk-ups last week from 11 to 2 p.m. and people were lining up to get in. If you're not able to do the walk-in, you can still make an appointment on the state's website through their My Turn tab. But if walk-ins are easier for you, then you're in luck. A mobile pop-up clinic at Halton Park in North Long Beach also opened up for anyone eligible. No appointment needed. The clinic will be open Wednesday from 3 to 5 p.m. and Saturday from 9 to 11 a.m. As of last week, more than 43% of the city's adults have been vaccinated, and COVID cases are decreasing. The number has now dropped 96%, an average of 31 cases a day. Long Beach Health Department will continue to bring pop-up clinics to residents, especially to areas hit the hardest by COVID-19.
Last week, Johnson & Johnson paused their vaccine distribution after cases of rare blood clots continued to appear. Reporter Leslie Rojas has more on the story.
Nearly 7 million doses of Johnson & Johnson vaccines have been given to people in the U.S. Now, the vaccine is at a complete pause. The CDC recommended the pause after 6 cases of rare blood clots and 1 death were reported. LPN manager Monica Herrera says the chances of this happening to anyone is 1 in a million.
But it's hard to say that it's actually the Johnson & Johnson vaccine.
The vaccine was popular amongst people who did not want to receive 2 doses. Unlike Moderna and Pfizer, Johnson & Johnson required only 1 dose.
I get it because it's only 1 shot, and I don't want to come in 2 times.
Ofra Ortiz says she recently got the vaccine and did not experience any negative symptoms.
But no, I didn't get no fever. I got no pain.
Tommy Fernandez says his overall experience receiving the vaccine at the Anaheim Convention Center was good.
It was so quick, so organized. I was in and out like in 25 minutes, including the 15 minutes that I had to wait. It's super easy.
CDC's decision to pause administration of the vaccine will remain in place until next Friday. Even though people cannot get the Johnson & Johnson vaccine right now, Moderna and Pfizer are still available for those who have appointments. This is Leslie Rojas for Campus Connection.
And speaking of the vaccine rollout, the Long Beach Convention Center used its space as a vaccine site, but now the city has new plans for the center.
The City of Long Beach approved a plan for the convention center to shelter unaccompanied migrant children arriving at the U.S. and Mexico border.
Campus Connection reporter Felicia Pliego has more on the story.
The Long Beach Convention Center is serving as a shelter for unaccompanied migrant children. It will provide needed services for these children, help that will last for 90 to 120 days, as the Long Beach Convention Center is transformed in a short-term shelter. The massive building is only allowing up to 8,000 children. The federal government is responsible for providing meals, medical, health evaluations, recreation opportunities, and educational services for these children.
I mean, I'm not against the children coming to Long Beach to be housed in the convention center. I feel like it's a good opportunity as a community to help these children overcome what has happened to them and being away from their families. We should allow them to readjust into the community there might be people here that are willing to adopt them or sponsor them. I personally am not in a position right now to do that, but if I was in a position, I would try to help out.
These children will remain in the shelter until they get reunited with family or sponsors that will be identified. The Long Beach Police Chief Robert Luna confirmed the feds will handle security inside and out, but ICE will not be a part of that. Not just Long Beach, but now the Pomona Fairplex is housing migrant children as well. But not everyone is in support.
And with that being said, we have over 500,000 homeless children that are living on the streets and are being neglected.
The mayor, Robert Garcia, said that the city will work with the federal government to quickly create an online site where people or groups can sign up to volunteer at the shelter. In Long Beach, Felicia Priego, Campus Connection.
2 Kroger grocery stores in the city of Long Beach closed down due to the city's Hero Pay law. Our reporter Marilyn Parra tells more about why the company made their decision.
For the past 2 months, people in the city of Long Beach have been protesting after the Kroger company announced the closure of Ralph's and Food for Less. Kroger announced the news after the city of Long Beach passed a bill that required grocery retailers to receive an extra $4 of hazard pay. The company says they cannot afford to keep their stores open while paying their employees extra due to the financial hit from COVID-19, but the residents of Long Beach disagree.
I think they could have chosen a better excuse. I think that's the least of the problems with the whole pandemic. The supermarkets were filled with people, so I don't think that's a valid excuse.
According to the Cincinnati report, Kroger sales bumped up 8.4% during the pandemic.
I am standing in the Ralph's parking lot, one of 2 grocery stores in the Long Beach area set to close April 17th. Everything on the shelves is 25% off, and guests are coming in to get last-minute items before they say goodbye to the beloved grocery store.
Protests have stopped in the city, and the shelves inside the Ralph's are almost empty.
So it's just another case of bad character, and they're not doing what they could do for the citizens of this community.
Outside the supermarket, you can see a banner advertising their big blowout sale. Residents of Long Beach are sad to see their local store closing, but are continuing to fight for other stores under the Kroger company to stay open. Marilyn Parra, Campus Connection.
Coming up next.
And see what athlete is making leaps for the beach.
CSULB is offering more than 500 courses during the 2021 summer sessions. Many of these courses are transferable to other colleges and universities, so you can earn up to 14 units toward your degree. Registration is easy, and no formal admission to the university is required. Get closer to graduation, take a class this summer, and go beach!
Welcome back to Campus Connection. All year long, Southern California residents and tourists enjoy Disney-themed parks in Anaheim.
As the park's set to reopen under California's new guidelines for amusement parks, Campus Connection reporter Felicia Pliego shares the story and the excitement it's bringing back to Disney fans.
California has lifted some COVID restrictions on outdoor sports and entertainment venues. Disneyland and California Adventure are set to reopen for the first time in more than a year. Disney fans almost gave up hope, but now they can hardly believe the big news announcement. Disneyland and California Adventure are reopening April 30th.
We were annual pass holders and we were spend every single weekend here, and it's our happy place. It's what makes us happy, so I'm just ready to share the magic with my daughters.
Disneyland is allowing only California residents to pre-buy in advance tickets online. It is open at 25% capacity. Waiting time may be several hours depending when the guest joins the line. There are still plenty of reservations available. Disney CEO Bob Chapek says that they are experiencing a high demand to deliver a strong guest magical experience.
So just the whole experience of Disneyland, it's like a magical experience. The moment you walk through the gate to the moment you leave at night, everything about it, the food, the experience, the rides, it's all magical. So it's just a chance to go back to something more normal than, being locked in the house all day. So
Disney recommends that you should ensure the dates match up. The park will be open from 9 a.m. to 7 p.m. There would be no indoor dining and there will be limits on rides. Screaming on roller coasters is not allowed to prevent the spread of the virus. Mask wearing is required, but not all fans are ready to return.
I love Disneyland. I'm not ready to go back. We need to see more results, and everybody should get vaccinated for COVID. That's my thinking.
Disneyland will find out how smooth the online pre-registration will go. For those who plan to visit the theme park, you must be a California resident. Out-of-state guests will not be welcome. Felicia Pliego, Campus Connection.
Hollywood's beloved movie theater ArcLight Cinema closes down permanently, along with other 16 locations. Reporter Mariana Lopez joins us with the latest.
For almost 60 years, the Cinerama Dome has been known as Hollywood's favorite spot for movie lovers. But now, due to the pandemic, the theater chain is closing all locations. Pacific Theaters and ArcLight Cinemas will close around 300 screens across California. None of their locations have reopened since the pandemic started, and due to the loss of revenue, will remain closed permanently. The ArcLight Cinema stated that this is not the outcome anyone wanted, but despite huge effort that exhausted all potential options, the company does not have a viable way forward.
It kind of sucks, and it's probably because of COVID, because they're not making sales and whatnot, but I think it should have been preserved because it's kind of a landscape in movies, but it's kind of a shame to see it closing down.
Located in the heart of Hollywood's Sunset Boulevard, the Cinerama Dome is known for hosting multiple movie premieres and most recently for its appearance in Quentin Tarantino's film Once Upon a Time in Hollywood. Its popularity and sudden closure made many celebrities share their opinions across social media, mourning the loss of the iconic theater.
Like the Comedy Store, I think it should be a Hollywood landmark, and it's a shame that it's not, and it's a shame to see it go.
Many are suggesting for the giants of streaming services to step in and help this location stay open. A Change.org petition was created asking Amazon, Disney, Apple, and Netflix to help the cause. So far, over 12,000 people have signed the petition. Some of the other ArcLight locations closing include ArcLight Cinemas in Pasadena, Santa Monica, Culver City, El Segundo, La Jolla, Boston, Chicago, and Maryland. Mariana Lopez, Campus Connection.
We'll be right back with more news on Campus Connection.
When I was in foster care, I never knew when I would have to move, so I always had my suitcase ready to go. Then one day, I was adopted. My new parents opened their hearts and home to me. My parents cook my favorite breakfast for me every morning. My parents take me on trips I never thought I would go on. They gave me a home and an even better reason to use that suitcase. My parents aren't perfect, but they're perfect for me.
Welcome back to Campus Connection.
Fans are the lifeline of sports, and having them in the stands at sporting events is what makes for an electrifying atmosphere. After a one-year hiatus because of the pandemic, they are finally making their way back into the seats, and players and fans alike are thrilled.
Campus Connection's Jonathan Ortiz is out at Dodger Stadium with more.
After playing an entire season without fans and hoisting their first World Championship in 32 years, the Los Angeles Dodgers are welcoming fans back home.
Super excited. So excited. I can't even wait to walk in there and sit down. I want my nachos and my hot dog, and I'm going to just be out.
Governor Gavin Newsom alluded to the possibility of allowing fans at outdoor stadiums earlier in March, given the strong decline in COVID-19 cases.
That when you think forward or look forward was April opening day, where we are likely to be if we all do our job. If we all do our job and we don't let down our guard and spike the ball, wrong sport, but you get the point, then I have all the confidence in the world fans will be back safely in a lot of those outdoor venues.
Dodger Stadium is establishing various safety protocols to ensure the health and well-being of staff and fans. Social distancing will be enforced throughout the entire stadium. All fans over 2 years old must wear a mask, and only digital tickets and cashless payment methods will be accepted inside the venue.
I'm glad Dodger Stadium is following protocols. It definitely makes me feel safe, and I would definitely come back.
Due to the limited quantity of seats being available per game, the resale value of the tickets is very high. I spoke to a few fans during opening day, and they told me that they paid upwards of $750 for tickets in the lounge section. Campus Connection, Jonathan Ortiz.
Now let's go to sports with Christine Tompkins.
Thank you, Nadia. Yes, that is right. Jason Smith is a member of the track and field team here at the beach. Let's check out the accolades he has accomplished during his time here.
Jason Smith is a long jumper and high jumper at the beach who has made his mark since his freshman year. Smith believes in putting in the work for the program and growing over time.
I didn't want to walk into a program and already be the number one guy because, I'm young. I'm new to the sport. I feel like my development wouldn't have been the same.
Coach Andy Scythe spoke very highly about Smith and how he is as an athlete.
One thing that really stands out about Jason is his demeanor, his competitive nature.
Smith's competitive nature has paid off since he stepped foot onto Jack Rose Field. This includes becoming a 3-time All-American and the first 2-time NCAA qualifier in the history of the beach's indoor track and field. Sprinter and best friend Kent Harris talks about Jason helping him to stay in shape.
And so we both were kind of had our own personal motivations, but we got it up and dragged each other to the track at 8 o'clock every morning since August.
Smith's goals go far beyond the collegiate level.
I do aspire to go to the next level. I do aspire to make an Olympic trial, an Olympic team eventually in my career. So I have confidence in my ability.
Jason will be competing next at the CSUN Invitational Meet on April 24th. This is Christine Tompkins, Campus Connection.
When we return, we look at this year's Academy Awards.
Find out who made the cut and how Oscars are growing.
We'll be right back.
Did you know dragging chains can spark a wildfire?
Only you can prevent wildfires.
Welcome back to Campus Connection. This year's Academy Awards is filled with inclusion and far more diversity. 2 women have been nominated for Best Director in the same year. For Promising Young Woman, director Emerald Fennell received 5 nominations, and Nomadland director Chloe Zhao with 6 nominations.
It's sad to think it took this long for many of these firsts to be nominated, but I'm glad it's happening now.
Though the Oscars are being praised for their diversity, in the past, however, they received some backlash. In 2015 and 2016, the Academy presented all 20 acting nominations to white actors. It was known as the hashtag #OscarsSoWhite. Chloe Zhao is the first Asian woman to be nominated in the director category. Minari star Steven Yeun is the first Asian American to be nominated for Best Actor. And his fellow nominee, Riz Ahmed, becomes the first Muslim actor to be nominated for his role in Sound of Metal.
Have you ever heard of the van life? Well, one Long Beach family took it up a notch and built a home and a mobile school in a bus.
Campus Connection reporter Denicia Dixon takes us inside the bus and shares how this family learned to slow down in a fast-paced lifestyle.
The pandemic has impacted people's travel plans this year, but not for this local Long Beach family. They found an alternative way to travel, and it's called the Bougie Bus. Derek and Lauren McGroggle built this stylish school bus home from the wheels up. They plan to travel the country for 1 year with their 2 daughters. Lauren is a veteran of the United States Coast Guard, and Derek is still enlisted. Being deployed often affects the couple's travel plans. They figured when they decide to leave the U.S. Coast Guard, their lives will be much different.
We've never been close to family. We don't really get to travel a lot because our work is so demanding. So the thought of once our careers are over, getting to hit the road and travel, see family, and just do some leisurely activities for once.
Lauren designed the bus and Derek did the labor, which took about 2 years to complete. They put in a great load of thought, style, and a family touch while creating their mobile home. Electricity won't be a problem for the family. The bus runs on 1,000 watts solar panels. So they basically can live anywhere that allows them to.
The bougie bus has multiple compartments to it. They even built storage underneath the children's bed for them to store their clothes.
Traveling isn't the only reason why the couple wanted to pursue this lifestyle. Lauren says living a slow-paced life is a main factor as well.
And to like really be able to like live intentionally and mindfully and not be part of this like crazy fast-paced life.
The schoolie life is starting to become a trend all around the country. Lauren says they met other schoolies who helped with the process. Denicia Dixon, Campus Connection.
I might be about the van life come this summer because that looks amazing. Well, that's all the time we have for today, folks. Thank you for joining us on Campus Connection. I'm Adrian Biander.
And I'm Nadia Villanueva. We will see you next time.